It's been a long weekend for many. But if you caught yourself looking at work emails or replying to a message from your boss, you're not alone. This is a reality for millions of people in India and indeed the world over. 88% of Indian employees say that they are contacted after work hours. But a new bill in Kerala wants to change that. It's the Right to Disconnect Bill. It will give the state's private sector employees the power to switch off after work hours. In other words, you can legally ignore messages, calls or emails from your boss once your contracted hours are over. And you can do so without fear of punishment. At least that's the idea. The bill also talks about setting up district-level committees. They will handle complaints. They will ensure companies follow the rules. All of this is aimed at targeting the always-on culture. The need to be available for work 24/7. The idea is to protect personal time. And it is important. Like I said, 88% of Indian employees are contacted beyond work hours. 85% say they receive messages during sick leave or holidays. The law caps working hours at 48 per week, 48 working hours in a week, but more than half of India's employees work more than that. Now, Kerala wants to change that. And this is not a new idea. At least 20 other countries already have a law like this. France was the first to implement it in 2017. Over the years, others followed suit. Last year, Australia introduced it. In fact, they also have hefty fines. If bosses fail to comply, they may have to pay $12,000 per employee just for messaging people after work. Does this hamper productivity? It does not. Decades of research shows this. Unpaid overtime, in fact, often drains employees. It can harm their well-being and add to stress. On the other hand, work-life balance can lead to more energy and greater happiness, even a stronger sense of personal fulfillment. So that when employees show up at work, they are refreshed. And this is not just theory. Studies in Europe show that 70% workers benefited from the law. So it can be a boon. Of course, there are challenges too. First of all, not all jobs are equal. In high-pressure industries like the services industry or in medicine or in the media, workers are obligated to be on all the time. And that may not change anytime soon. Also, a law won't stop the messages from coming. It just allows you to not respond. Your boss can still email at midnight, but hopefully you aren't required to open that email. And this law won't work uniformly. Yes, it gives people an option, but not everyone will take it. Sometimes out of guilt, sometimes out of fear, because overwork has become a cultural norm. Changing that requires more than just legislation. It requires a shift in awareness and mindset. People need to be willing to accept it. Because at the end of the day, work is a part of life. We all work for different reasons, and we all have different capacity and different thresholds. You may be working for joy, purpose, money, personal fulfillment. And there is nothing wrong with working on a weekend or checking your email right in the morning. If that's what you want to do, you should do it. But only as a choice, not an obligation. The problem arises when it becomes an obligation and it comes with a fear of penalty. So I guess the takeaway is simple. The right to disconnect is a step in the right direction. It helps restore balance and boundaries, but true change comes from internal shift, not just legislation. Until we value our own time, the right remains half-born.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.